Hi friends, a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Oliveboard. I hope all of you are doing well and keeping safe. So yes, finally we are near the SEBI Grade A 2022 Phase 2 examination, and we all know that it's going to be a very competitive exam as nearly 6K students have cleared Phase 1. So all of us are in the preparation mode, and here we are with sharing with you guys a few tips that are going to help you out for your last minute preparation. And in fact, these tips are going to be even more useful for you guys on the D-Day, okay, that is on 20th March 2022 on Sunday, when you will be writing the examination. So I would request first of all to all those who are listening to this particular lecture that these tips might be very small on the surface, but this is really going to help you to push your scores and to prepare your mindset as to how do you need to enter the examination hall, what are the pointers that you need to look out for. So these things are going to be really important for us. Fine. So let's just quickly start with this particular session, and in case you're not able to hear me properly, in case the screen is not visible to you, please increase the resolution of the screen. I would request you to do that in case you're not able to see me properly, or if there is something blurry on your screen. Hi Manan, thank you for that heads up. Hi Rocky, I hope you guys can hear me properly as well. Fine, so I'll just quickly begin with this without wasting much of your time, because obviously all of us are in the examination mode. Okay, at the end I'll just see if there is something specific that I need to answer, then obviously I will take that up. Okay, so right now let's just straight away go into what's required for us. Fine. Okay, so here is the pattern, and one thing is very important for you guys to understand, that we have two papers and the weightage of these two papers is going to be different. Right? So your paper 1 is going to be 1/3 weightage, and your paper 2 is going to be 2/3 weightage. Now all of us know this particular fact, but still, why am I repeating this again? The reason being, when you have a different weightage between these two papers, it's very important that you know where to put in your efforts. Fine, and where you will be able to score or fetch more marks, and that will actually show in your merit list. So that's one point that you need to register here. Fine, so out of 200 marks that you're going to be writing, 67 would be for your paper 1, because you just have 1/3 of weightage, and 133 worth of marks is going to be from your paper 2. So don't worry, that converting and everything will be done automatically. You just need to go ahead and write for 100 marks each. That is very simple out here. Now let me take you to the next part. One other thing is, if you read the information handout that is usually released with the admit cards, that is there every before every examination, this one bit I've taken a screenshot from there, that cutoffs will be applied on total score as well as in individual papers. Okay, now again, what do we infer from this particular statement? That we cannot take any paper lightly. That is very important. We need to clear a minimum cutoff for us to be considered also for the final list. Fine, so these are the two important points that I want you guys to consider. Now let's talk about the flow of the examination. See, we are not going to be discussing about what are the important topics, what you should do, because it's already taken care of. By now you should be there completely in your preparation mode, done most of the things. But on the D-Day, there are few things that you need to keep in mind before you go to the examination hall. We have discussed this earlier also, but again, spending 10 minutes of your time can make all the difference here. So the flow is going to be such that it's very clearly written, no separate login. Okay, once your test is auto submitted, that is your objective wise test is done, you will be taken to your descriptive screen wherein you need to type your answers. Fine. See the note part here. If many of you, I think, have given SEBI the previous time as well, and this is one point which will help you to make your mind ready now itself. Fine, you need to know how to get to the next line while writing or while typing on screen there using the keyboard that they have provided. So please read the first line very clearly, that while typing, if you press the space bar and then press the enter bar, the cursor will not move to the next line. You need to immediately press enter. Okay, so this is a very small statement, but it will make all the difference. So don't keep struggling there to use the keyboard. That will pull your scores behind. So don't do that, please. So in case any of you haven't read this in the information handout, please take a screenshot of the thing now itself, so that you can save this, read this twice and thrice, register this in your head. Okay, now see, all said and done, guys, we have, all of us have been doing hard work. All my students out there, I've spoken to at least 2 to 3 lately, and I do realize everybody's in this preparation mode, doing their best. But one thing nobody can change: whatever you have done is going to be reflected in your paper, but those 100 minutes that you get is, very important, because that is what will decide whether you will be moving forward to the interview stage or not. Okay, so every minute counts for us. So we need to be very structured in our way to attempt that particular examination. So let us see how do we need to take that particular thing. And I would also say, don't take too much of pressure. At the same time, don't waste time there, okay, because as I said, every minute, every second is going to count for us. Okay, let's talk about each paper. How do you need to attempt the paper? Okay, these two papers. We are talking about paper 1 first. So clearly from the information handout, they have given that we have this essay writing, precis writing, and reading comprehension. The mark split up is given, okay, but that don't bother much about that. The other thing you need to concentrate on is 60 minutes the entire paper. Okay, how do you segregate your timing? How do you approach the paper? We will see that in a while. One other thing is essay writing. Okay, see, we do not have a set pattern. We are not sure how many words essay are we required to write. It can be as low as 150, it can be as high as 400 also. Okay, so please be prepared. When you are entering the hall, you are starting your descriptive paper, just have a look at the number of words in your head, make a plan. Okay, if it is say 300 words, my essay is divided into 3 parts. I have an intro part, I have a body of the essay, I have the conclusion. So let me divide these number of words. Let me do this math internally and then start typing. Please don't go back and keep erasing your answers. Don't do those things. It will cost you time. You'll not be able to complete the paper. Fine, that will also cost you big time there, right? So this math, just 10-15 seconds of your time immediately in your head, that is what is required. Fine. The next important thing that we're going to be talking about is the time division. Fine, you have 60 minutes, you have 3 important things to cater to. Divide that equally. Don't give too much importance to say essay writing. You are maybe say out of 60 minutes spending 40 minutes in essay. How will you do justice to precis writing and reading comprehension? And you can see very clearly 70 marks is for precis writing and reading comprehension, right? So we cannot do this particular trivial mistake in the examination hall. Fine. So how are we going to treat the 3 sections? 20 minutes each of our time would go to essay writing, precis writing, and reading comprehension, right? And one other thing is reading comprehension and precis writing. One beautiful thing about these 2 questions is you don't have to use your brain in terms of coming out with points. That's a very easy thing if you understand. Essay, obviously it goes without saying, the format as well as content is going to be yours, right? But for reading comprehension and precis writing, you are not going to be producing any content. You shouldn't remember. You don't need to spend time thinking about points. Okay, so that's going to be relatively easier. Understand this particular concept. Fine. Now let's move on to this each section. I will spend 2 minutes each here so that we get to understand what we need to do when we are attempting essay writing. See, one thing is, I have always seen that selection of the topic is something in which students become uncomfortable. Okay, what they do is they are in a dilemma. Sometimes you say that you are seeing some 3-4 topics. Out of that, one topic seems very easy to you. You might have a feeling that if I write this topic, is it competitive enough for me to attempt that particular topic, because the topic is very easy compared to the other topics. So you shouldn't have that mindset. You just understand what is easy for you. Okay, if you're comfortable with a tough topic, go ahead with a tough topic. It should be your comfort zone. Don't think as a whole how the topic stands. Fine. So that is one thing in the selection of topics. Don't do that mistake. Next thing is structuring of essay is very important. Okay, if you read the information handout for the descriptive English paper, they have clearly mentioned they are checking the understanding plus the ability for you to write down a particular essay. Okay, how can you express something in your own words? So there the role of structuring is going to give us marks. So don't sit there and keep thinking too many points without knowing how to structure it. It's going to cost you marks there, right? So both structuring and valid points will give you decent marks, or rather good marks in your essay writing. Have a very strong intro and conclusion. Right? You need to start with on a good foot, leave on a good foot, but at the same time don't use jargons. Okay, you can use, but don't think that if I use jargons only then I'll be able to get or score marks. If you know what you're doing, you will definitely get marks. Don't beat around the bush with the particular topic. Read the question again. What are they asking? Okay, a particular topic can be approached from different directions. You need to narrow yourself down to how are you going to structure that particular answer. Fine. The next point is please include data points wherever you feel necessary, but at the same time don't overload your answer with data points. Too many data points is of no good as well. Okay, but again, if you don't have any data point, that also can seem that you're not having a good grip on the topic. So just play decent there. And as I told you, avoid spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. That is the reason I'm saying that don't try and use jargons or something that you're not comfortable with. Okay, because this is the obvious thing. Grammatical errors will cost you, spelling mistakes not good at all. Okay, so these things should be avoided. Write something very simple, but write to the point, write without mistakes. You will see the marks happening for you. Okay, so this is about essay writing. Moving to precis writing. Precis writing, I have seen that by now guys you should be aware of the format of precis writing, but in case you are not, let me tell you the number of words that are there on the screen. You need to reduce it to 1/3 given the number of words there, right? One paragraph only. Don't divide your answer into 2-3 paragraphs. That is not precis writing. Okay, only one paragraph. Give a title to the paragraph. Fine. Now how does one approach precis writing? First thing, it requires 2 reading from your end. Okay, I would not say just 1 reading, 2 reading. The first reading is going to be very quick scan. Okay, and then while scanning, back of the mind, just identify key points. Okay, you should know what are the key points there, and then the next reading a little slowly. Fine. The other thing or the other mistake that many students make is you think if you know a particular topic you can go ahead and write extra points there. You can't. Do not add any extra points. You cannot add your opinions. You cannot add any other additional information that you think is worthy enough. That is not the format. Whatever is given in front of you, that is your Bible there. That's it. You need to use that, break it down into 1/3 of the number of words given, compress that, okay, and that is how you need to present your precis. Fine. You will also be given rough sheets. You can write your keywords there. Like once you're doing the quick scanning part, right, at that moment you can just take your pencil and write say 4-5 words so that you know, okay, around this there is something important, around this there is something important, right? So this is how you need to go ahead with your precis writing part. Fine. Okay, moving to reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, 40 marks out there. One thing is always debatable that in reading comprehension, can I still go ahead and add a few more points that I know? No. Your answer is no. You need to stick to whatever is given in the reading comprehension unless you have a question which asks for your opinion. Okay, sometimes in reading comprehension there is a style of questioning after the paragraph, like after the reading comprehension. One question can be, what are your viewpoints? What do you think about this particular topic? Do you think this is correct? Okay, so when such questions are asked, automatically you should understand that you can use your points because they are asking your viewpoints. Fine. But apart from that, the remaining questions that are going to be there are direct questions or indirect questions which are there in the reading comprehension only. So you cannot use your own words there. Sorry, you cannot use your own points there. Okay. The next thing is you should use your own words. Okay, do not copy exact lines from the paragraph. This is not school. Okay, in school also it was not the right way to approach reading comprehension, but all of us, we can agree to a certain extent that we had the habit of just, finding some keywords from there and writing the answer. That's not how this particular thing works for us, right? We need to make sure we are using, or we are understanding what is given, comprehending that, using our own words, and answering the questions that are given below, right? And one other thing is, please understand how many marks is being awarded for each question. Sometimes they're equally divided, sometimes maybe one question has more marks for it, right? Then you'll have to adjust your answer accordingly. Fine, I've given you a rough estimate here. If it's a 8 to 10 mark per question, then how do you want to go about? You need to write at least 100 to 120 words out there, right? Because you have 8 to 10 marks per question. If it is 10 mark per question, then you have 4 questions altogether for reading comprehension, right? So you'll have to pin down to at least 100 words, just round off to at least 100 words to get that marks that is awarded for a particular question. Fine. So this is about reading comprehension. So this is here we are done with respect to paper 1. Fine, descriptive English paper. I know it's a little uncomfortable for a few of you out there. Treat it like a normal paper. It's nothing big science there. The only thing that you need to focus on, you might face a little issues while typing. Okay, it is not the comfortable keyboards that we use at our homes or the laptop key things that we use. You might feel there's a lot of noise going around while typing. You'll get disturbed. I'm saying you the practical aspect that you're going to see there when you're in the examination hall. So when you know there's a situation like this, prepare your mind accordingly. You will hear a lot of sound around you. You will feel, I'm not able to concentrate. What am I doing? You'll have to concentrate. There's no other choice, no other option, right? You can't ask them to go out, or you can't go out, right? So please have those things in mind. And in case you have missed this particular slide, take a screenshot of it now and know where to enter, what to press, enter key, space bar, what does it do, all these things. Okay, so now let us move to the paper 2 aspect. Fine. I think paper 2 is going to be like a repeat of what you have already done in phase 1, but yeah, there are few differences out there. One is obviously we can expect the questions to be one notch up in the difficulty level. That's the major thing. The second thing is, again, we need to score more this time, because the first time it was just minimum cutoff. Now we are actually in a very competitive space, wherein out of the 6K people that have been selected, hardly 300 people would be taken forward to interview. So we need to understand the crucial point that we are in. So what can help us basically here is accuracy levels any day. Okay, I would want each one of you to understand that when you're giving this paper, automatically you get a feeling if the paper is tough. Okay, you all are reading the same material, all are aware of the syllabus. So when you see those questions, you tend to understand ki, okay, this year the paper is pretty tough. Okay, so at that point of time, understand it's going to be tough for everybody. So automatically the cutoff would fall. Okay, so don't be in a rush to attempt a certain number of questions. That is where many students go wrong. They would have a fixed number in their head or a fixed score in their head, and they would want to chase that particular score to make sure that they're through to interview, but they don't realize that the difficulty level of the paper also plays a very big role in the cutoff and everything. So you need to understand this aspect here. One good thing is, though there are 6 sections, the questions are going to be mixed. Okay, you might be very good in say 3 out of 6 sections. So try selecting questions that you are comfortable with. You have a good understanding of say management section. Try attempting all the management sections, all the management questions with full accuracy, right? So you need to play very smart there. Go for selection of questions. I know many of you don't do that. You start with the first question, then you move to the second one, and imagine if you don't know the first 5 questions. I know many of you just drop the ball there itself. Okay, first 5 questions are gone, I'm done. This year I'm out. No, that should not be the attitude. First 5 questions you don't know. Maybe the next 45 questions are in your comfort zone. You never know, right? So don't judge yourself by thinking ki, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, hunt for questions. Be smart enough. You have 50 questions there, right? Maybe you know the last 30 questions very well. Your accuracy levels are high. The paper is tough. You're through. Right, you'll have to think on those lines, because why am I saying these points to you is, right now it's very easy for me to tell you, for you to understand, but you will have to register these things in your head. When you are under pressure, sitting in the examination hall, thinking about your future, thinking about n number of things, these things, might slip your head. So A, when you're entering the hall, leave your worries behind, leave what is going to happen next. You have 100 minutes, be very calm, focus on your paper, understand these points, do your best, come out of the hall. Okay, no thinking left, right, what is going to happen, oh my god, this that. No, straight concentration on your paper. Fine. The next thing is, we can expect numericals. Okay, they are going to give you a calculator on screen, which is going to be visible on screen. So we can see some numericals being expected from equity or bond evaluation, shares, right? But today I'm not going to be touching upon anything which is related to your material. I'm just here to give you an understanding as to how to approach, or what to do in the examination hall, basically, right? Fine. So I think we are through. I don't want to overburden you with multiple other points. Okay. But yeah, a basic understanding of what we have discussed here is important. Fine. So let me see if there's something which I have missed or not covered out here. Okay, Ishdeep Gill is asking, do we need to write pointers before precis? Yeah, Ishdeep, that's what I mentioned, that while you're skimming through your passage, right, if you can just make note of few important points, and then make sure when you're writing or typing the answer that has incorporated all these important pointers, it's going to help you out. But don't spend too much of time there. Okay. Okay, Manan, I think again I would not, encourage something which is called, what to say, a good attempt, because I have given a point wherein the difficulty of the level matters a lot. Okay, so if you have certain thing in your head that might hinder or might not go down well in the examination hall. Okay, thank you, Nitin. Happy Holi to you as well. Thank you so much. Okay, Manan, let me check. I don't think, can you resend that, Manan, if you have sent me before, please? Maybe in the complete list I might have missed that particular thing. Vikalp Raj, numericals from costing should be practiced. Vikalp, I would not say ki at this moment you open up and practice certain things, but in case you know it already and you want to brush it up, then please go ahead, right? Okay, so I think I would wrap this up. Fine. Most welcome, Raman. Our pleasure. Sanchita is asking, the session is relevant for legal also. Sanchita, we are just discussing what needs to be done in the examination hall. So yes, you can take these tips and apply it for the legal paper. No harm in that as well. Okay, so anything else which I have missed out here? Raman Kumar is asking, should we follow the same strategy followed in mocks? I'm not able to get that. Yeah, I think the strategy that you have followed in the 10 mock tests that you have given, I think that's what you're talking about. If that is the case, Raman, then yes, you will have to follow that, because you have been doing that. You have practiced 10 mock tests, right? Okay, so I'm really sorry, I'm not taking anything which is related to the subject thing here, because the whole purpose of coming up with this session is to give you an insight as to, what do you do on the day of the examination. That's really important for us. Fine, guys. And yes, precis writing, you need to give a heading to the precis. Okay, there's no set pattern that I might have a different heading for the same precis. The other person might have a different one. Okay, you just need to understand the theme, whichever suits you, give a heading accordingly. Okay, if your marks are fluctuating drastically in the mock test, don't worry about it, because the mock tests are designed such that each mock test has something different. Okay, so you are getting ready for the D-Day. Don't worry about the mock tests that are there. Okay, because at the end, analyze those mock tests, see where you're lagging, complete wherever whatever is left in your preparation, you will see the results on the final day. Don't worry about it. Okay, because if you see, the mock tests are not the same. It is not like all the 10 mock tests are prepared on the similar lines. That's not what we are doing. We are giving you practice on a very different scale each time you give a particular mock test. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the marks in the mock test, please. The only thing that I am worried about is if you're not analyzing those mock tests, because that's really important at the end of the day. Fine. Okay, fine. So, guys, I think I would just, take your leave here. I would request all of you to please take care. Don't wait till the last moment. Please check your centers way in advance, well in advance. Take all the required documents. Don't keep that for the last moment, because you have worked so hard. Why to make those silly errors and, miss out on something? Fine. So, please take good care of yourself. Wear masks, take sanitizers, okay, and please, at the end of the day, don't worry. Whatever you have done is for good, okay, and on that day also you're going to be doing really great. Once again, wishing you all a very happy Holi, okay, a safe Holi rather. And please, I would say, though the things have opened up, I would still say play safe, okay. Don't go all out. You have your examination also. Please take care of that. Fine. Thank you so much, guys, and hope to see you again in the analysis session that we'll be having on Sunday. Take care. Bye bye.